And Coles and Woolies will have to come and they'll never join us fully simply because of that overhead,
Oh,
and the
100%.
sheer cost of their running their business model. But, in terms of revolutionizing health and wellness and, taking that one step further in terms of, health and well-being within our society and our children. And
Sure.
then you look at obesity and ADHD and diabetes and all of that stuff that is linked to food is your medicine.
Oh,
So
no, no.
across the board, we will make them improve their
Mm.
standards, and that will have a rippled effect to everybody, whether they're using Origin or not.
And I mean, I think that's very exciting. The reason I say that is you and I will be having this conversation in 3 to 4 years' time. The inner origin horse will have bolted. Like,
Yeah.
there's not many people that are
the
in
way,
the.
the wave will have gone, and those people that ride it, fantastic.
Yeah.
Those people that just miss that opportunity. Business is timing and positioning, and
Yeah.
people listening to this will either see it before it's seen, or they will need to see it in 5 or 10 years, and then they
Yeah.
will believe it. But those people that have got a bit of an entrepreneurial spirit, those people that can
Mm.
see things before
Mm.
it's seen, that are health conscious. That I asked 3 questions, Lockie. Anybody. I think business needs to be simple. If business is easy, it makes money. And I asked 3 questions, and the first one is: would you yourself personally shop at a platform like InnerOrigin, knowing what you know about truth and transparency? And if the answer is a resounding yes, then would you share it with your friends, your family, and things like that? And if
Can,
the answer is yes to that, then there's a business opportunity for you. It's as
yeah.
simple as that.
Can I
You
add
know?
something to that? My question would be, would you share it with people that you actually care about, that you don't want to get sick, that you don't want, you know?
Yeah.
Now, I might be,
Or do you want to carry on supporting Coles and Woolies?
yeah, and the funny thing is, mate, I don't think it's an anti-Coles and Woolies campaign. I just think that Inner Origin
No.
has come forward and said, you know what, we can do this smarter, we can do it faster. We're not going to beat up the farmers anymore. We're going to have them set the price for us, and we're going to, because we don't have the logistical nightmare of 960 shops. I mean, I don't know how many Coles has got, but no doubt it's huge. But without that logistical cost, we can afford to pass savings on to the consumer, and we can also give the consumer some of the profit, and we can go global on this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Wow.
exciting, hey?
Oh, isn't it? Now, speaking of exciting, let me run through these slides because one thing I do want to mention, guys, because there is an IO presentation, but I want to give you, in the
Hmm.
trading world we call it the wattle, the world according to Lockie. I want to give you sort of my if you don't mind my take on it. Basically, it would appear as I flick through these slides quite quickly, consumers globally are looking for healthy food. Inner Origin is the source of that healthy food, to the point at which one thing I love about IO, mate, is that IO doesn't have its own brand. So you're not buying the Inner Origin milk powder or the Inner Origin smoothie powder or the Inner Origin protein. And I love that because in Origin's not saying, well, come and buy our bloody fruit mix or come and buy our protein powder. We've actually gone to a great supplier on the Gold Coast and said, hey, your protein's amazing. Do you mind if we sell it for you on a global scale? So Inner
Yeah.
Origin doesn't have all the complexity of trying to cheapen its product down to try and make profit from its purchases. It's going and grabbing an already phenomenal protein and just passing it on to people all over Australia and eventually the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
And giving
love
them
it.
access to a health and wellness kind of conscious community. A
Mm,
lot of great products are produced,
yep.
and they don't actually leave a lot of marketing money to actually distribute or advertise or market. So they
Mm,
put all of their time and money in the manufacturing.
mm.
And then we take that other requirement away from them. They just manufacture a great product, put it into our warehouse, and we do the rest. We
Mate,
market it, we distribute it, we do everything
you
else.
nailed it. So what I get out of this game changer slide is basically people want healthy food. IO's got it, and IO's no longer beating up the farmers about providing
Yeah.
the food, which I think is brilliant. Now, a number of other slides we go through here. There's some incredible articles about, $1 milk destroys farmers. I mean, I don't need to harp on about diabetes. I don't need to hype on about all of this stuff
Hmm.
going on. But what I want to get to is if you don't mind, the really important stuff about IO, and that is that you spoke about earlier about an ecosystem being a three-dimensional system. Effectively, what IO is doing is
Yeah.
saying, hey, here are some farmers, they've got some great food, here are a whole lot of people that want that great food. Basically, let's connect them together, but we're not going to take anyone on board as a product provider. We'll only take people on board that we're really happy with. That's what I love about this, and that's why I love the comment on here.
Hmm.
Welcome to the revolution that is providing healthy food to health conscious consumers. And by the way, it's done online so it can scale out of this world, and there's effectively nothing stopping this from being absolutely massive. That's what I get. Is that okay?
Lockie, I couldn't say it any better. I love the world according to Lockie.
Oh, done. Okay, right. And the world. If we look at this slide, effectively, we know that food is thy medicine. We know that health conscious people all over the world are not getting sick. We know that there's some pretty crappy supplements out there. We need to consume food that has got less sugar, it's less processed, it's basically sourced not only ethically but also from clean environments. It brings up this huge issue in Japan right now about all of the organic food and what effect is Fukushima having on that organic food, the Fukushima nuclear reactor problem. I'm actually really excited, mate, having a Japanese wife, that IO is going to Japan in the not too distant future. I intend to be pivotal to that occurring, but I also know that there's a lot of people in Japan right now that are concerned about the quality of the food that they're receiving. Also, mate, also
Yeah.
down the west coast of the US, there's Fukushima radiation that's being detected in the fruit and veg on the west coast of the US because of the sea cycles. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
mate,
Food,
it's
food,
massive.
food security and food safety.
Yep.
It's massive. It absolutely is massive, and that's what we believe in this ecosystem so much. In life, if you plant a seed and you create an abundance within that atmosphere, and within that soil, that seed will flourish, and it will feed you more fruit than that seed can ever provide. And we have that attitude with the ecosystem, that if we nourish it, if we nurture it, then we will actually create an ecosystem, a self-sustainable and perpetuating
Mm,
ecosystem,
mm.
where everybody wins. And food security, we've got huge issues at the minute with counterfeit goods flooding the markets.
Oh, 100%.
And InnerOrigin is just going to be that shining light, of integrity and trust and transparency,
Yeah.
where people know what they're getting and where they're getting it
Well, there was
from.
that recent issue, but people watching this video might not be aware. It has been mainstream press, but if you're like me and you're super busy, you might not be able to keep up with mainstream press. The funny thing is there's that big scandal going on at the moment about A2 milk, and the fact that
Yeah.
A2 milk, the A2, for those that don't know, it's a slightly different protein strain milk that's going into China. Or because it was being sold at a bit of a how do I put it? It's highly sought after, so the people selling it can charge a little bit more. What these
Hmm.
very very entrepreneurial Chinese people have done is said, well, you know what? We're just going to bring out fake A2 milk powder, to the point at which the genuine product can't be sold because the fake one is half the price, and yet the consumer thinks they're getting genuine A2 milk, when in actual fact, mate, they're not even getting A2, they're getting A1 milk powder, which is a completely different protein strain. But also, mate, what else? Wait, what else is in
What
that
else is in
container?
it? Yeah.
What?
What else is in it? And
I know it's
and
white
further
and it
down the line,
tastes like
what
milk.
cancers are going to be
Ah,
caused
mate,
from it?
you're absolutely
You
correct.
know.
Absolutely correct. And look, being a little boutique macadamia farmer, I love the final point on this particular slide, mate, which it says small high quality producers are starved out of the market, so you can't find them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
No.
go to Woolies now or Coles or something, you can't find my macadamia nuts simply because we can't
No.
compete with the Californian ones. Would you?
And also they will, anything that's been produced well, or been sold well, you will then find shortly after that a home brand version of that, even cheaper, even less integral, with God knows what in there. So, even those good producers are then fighting against the home brands.
Oh, of course they are.
It's a lose-lose
Yeah.
situation for them.
And the question would be, where's your garlic actually coming from? I was in the fruit market yesterday buying garlic, and I'm not going to be rude about the countries it was coming from, but I'm thinking, why the hell can't I just go to Coles or Woolies and buy actual genuine Australian garlic? Why am I buying garlic from some country over on the other side of the world? I don't know if they've sprayed it with DDT. I have no idea, and there's no labeling to say, oh, by the way, we we're about 10 years behind the 8 ball and we spray our garlic with poison. I mean, so.
Mate, and this is an exciting thing going to America, because the American market, they did a poll, and it's something in and around 90% of the Australian market, or the Australian population, they want non-GMO foods.
Oh, you nailed it.
The epidemic over there. So when we move over there, already we have staff on the ground over there, and the demand over there is phenomenal. Australia is a great launch pad for InnerOrigin, but when we get to America, the demand there that we will be supplying, which the American people, the American people want, is just another level.
Oh, mate, you nailed it. But the question I asked to everybody, watching this video right now is, we don't know, we genuinely do not know the future consequences of eating GMO food. We have absolutely no idea.
The true effect.
But the combat indicators are not looking very good. Now, I don't want to get a little bit military on you, but they're not looking good at all. And mate, again, as I said, I'm a CEO. I'm a busy guy. I've got 2 kids. One's about to turn 4, the other's about to turn 2. I mean, my priority is spending time with my boys, and when I feed them, feeding them food that I can trust. Well, the most comforting thing about shopping on an IO website, doesn't matter if you're a distributor, doesn't matter if you're an affiliate, you could just be a shopper, is that as per this slide here, the InnerOrigin team, now IO is currently an Australian-owned and genuine Australian company. There's no grey imports coming in here. My point is, it's an Australian-owned company that is genuinely interested and aligned with healthy food. So it doesn't matter what I buy on the IO site, mate, I know that there are no nasties. I know there's no Fukushima in it. I know there's no this. I know there's no that, because IO's done the homework, mate.
We've got an advisory board, and we use the ewg.org website, which is all of your nasties, all of your parabens and your chemicals and things like that. So we use that initially, and then the one that I love, that I'm sure everyone else will, is the unique rating system by the customers. It empowers us as consumers. If a product gets onto the platform and then maybe technology changes, or medicine changes and ingredients have been found, actually that's not great, then we will make those changes according to the feedback from the customers. If the price point's not right, the customers can leave feedback, and that will ensure the integrity of that platform, and only the best of the best will stay on the platform.
I go back to what I said before about the Battler's supermarket, but you're literally, IO is giving everybody in Australia the opportunity to shop ethically, knowing they're great and getting great food, but giving everybody in Australia and soon globally the opportunity to say, hey, do you mind if I do a profit split while I'm shopping, because I'm going to tell all my mates about this because it's actually healthy. I'm doing them a favor by showing them IO, and the fact that you can eat a can of tomatoes from IO. You actually know where the tomatoes have come from.
100%. And like you alluded to before, it's not that we've just got one product that you're having to sell, and sell people on. Nobody in this company are distributors, in normal network marketing. You buy something at wholesale and you sell it at retail. We advocate a shop. We advocate where we go. We refer somebody to go shopping on that. When they go shopping there, we get that profit share. We get a commission based on that. And this next slide that's up is is ideal to explain that.
Look, it is, and guys, I will share with everybody, guys and girls, that I've only found out about the whole IO thing around about a month ago, and I'm still very new to the terms. I'm very new to everything that IO is, and hence I've got a great coach and mentor called Phil. Some people call him an upline. I just call him my mentor and coach. The
Yeah.
reality is that InnerOrigin, how the whole thing works is you've got merchant partners down the bottom left-hand corner who are the macadamia farmers of the world, the dairy farmers of the world. They basically provide their product to InnerOrigin. There will be customers out there that will just want to be customers. They say, you know what, Lockie, I don't want to be part of MLM 2.0. I don't want to expand globally. I don't want a phenomenal business that I can work anywhere in the world, which I do, but some people don't. They just might want to shop. And the funny thing is, you can, if you want to, be more than a customer and actually seek to develop that business and become that global phenomenon that is an advocate of something fantastic. You can actually become an advocate. And what attracted me to what IO is doing is that not only is there no minimum spend on a monthly basis, so I don't have to buy a certain amount of InnerOrigin powder on a monthly basis to qualify for my commissions. But once I get to certain levels, the commission I'm earning is a lifetime commission. So if I work hard at this for 2 to 3 years and establish a really great business, and then say, hey, to my beautiful girl, hey Akito, we're going sailing for a year with the boys, I continue to earn commission. I continue to earn off my business that I've established, even if I decide I'm not going to make an IO phone call for a couple of months.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is the uniqueness that you've nailed on the head, is normal, typical network marketing. Let's say, for instance, you build a customer base, you refer your link, people go shopping on your, on your link, on your website that's affiliated to you. They go shopping, you earn that commission. You don't have a minimum auto ship or a minimum order requirement. So, you can get on that boat, you can go sailing for a year, you could have 1,000 customers, and you would earn every single month in, month out, even if you've not yourself tapped on your website and gone shopping yourself. Yeah. So that is unique. All other network marketing companies need to have a minimum auto ship in order to unlock the customers' orders.
Yeah.
We don't.
And the funny thing is I've spoken to, I'm not going to mention any names, but I've spoken to friends of mine who are very, very passionate network marketers. There's some network marketers that are in a communications company. There are other network marketers that are in a health supplement company, and they make lots of shakes and do this kind of stuff. There's other guys that are in a travel company. And even with the people that are in a travel company, I actually asked one of these guys who's very, very senior in that company, I said, hey, mate, on average, how many holidays are people taking per year? And he said, well, that's a good question, mate. In my business, they take about 2 holidays per year. I said, okay, fantastic. And you earn off that? Yes, I do. Okay, great. How many times do you think those people are going to eat per year? And he looked at me and he's like, oh, I get the idea here. I said, well, and what I love about, mate, you might be in a travel company or a nutrition company, whatever it is, a telecommunications company. It makes absolutely no difference. The reality is that the InnerOrigin business model is so strong that you could continue doing your travel stuff and do this simultaneously. You're not going to offend anybody.
Absolutely.
I mean, people go traveling, awesome. They eat food. The funny thing is, you're actually ensuring that when they do eat food, they're eating genuine food.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. InnerOrigin has that standpoint of, business is business. And if you're already involved in a network marketing company, then brilliant,
Well, at least you know what to do. And
9 times out of 10, this will align with your company, or with your philosophy at least.
I think it aligns with your philosophy, and I think it aligns. What I love about IO, it's not really competing with anybody, because in fact it's so unique. And one thing that is unique, which I really do love, is the fact that right at the top there in the slide in orange, social network recommends and shares smart link. I didn't realize when I first saw IO that at the annual launch, which is coming up very shortly, you'll actually have a smart link, and all you need to do to build your business is actually share that smart link with people. And the moment they say, hey, yeah, look, I'm quite happy with that, that's cool, they basically get if you will, associated to your business for the rest of their shopping lives. And if they then go and share the
Correct.
smart link with somebody else, then immediately they're actually starting to build, just like Uber.
Your network of customers.
Exactly, just like
Yeah.
Uber, you thought, hey, this is a great idea. Discount voucher, discount voucher, discount. I mean, my beautiful girl, I mean, is basically sharing the IO concept with everybody she finds, and not a
Hmm.
single person has come back and said, you know what, I don't want to shop on your website. This sounds amazing. Not a single person.
Yeah.
Now, I love it because, dare I say it, you've got a choice. I mean, the
Mm.
choice is, yeah, you can become an advocate and you can actually promote the business and benefit from that if you want, or you can just
Yeah.
shop. But either way, what you're going to be doing is, if you just shop, you're going to be supporting the person that is trying to build a business, that is trying to generate a life that is more than, the 9 to 5 grind. And
Yeah.
as I said, not a single person has come back to Akito and said, no, I won't support you in your journey. I would prefer to give all my money to Woolworths. No one's done that.
And I think the
No
biggest
one's done it.
reason why, the
Yeah,
biggest reason why is, as a customer, you can go shopping for free. So
of
you
course.
get the link and you go shopping. You set up an online account, it's free, and you go shopping.
Yeah.
And also, everybody pays the same, and you can see it in this slide.
Oh, you
In
nailed it.
typical
Thank you.
network marketing,
Yep.
in typical network marketing, you become a distributor, you buy something at wholesale and you sell it to your friends and family at retail. And
Mm.
that's that awkwardness, that's that ickiness. Whereas, people that don't want to build a business and have an advocate base and things like that, they just want to go shopping. That's great, in the knowledge that they know that they're actually buying it at the same price that you're buying it at. So there's
Exactly.
no reason why they wouldn't want to.
And now I love this, and this is what I got a little bit hooked on the whole IO concept when I met with David Nomchong, who's clearly the CEO, and I also met with Sally Ann. She basically said, Lockie, in 5 to 6 years' time, 90%, at least 90% of the people that are using the IO online shopping platform will not be advocates. They're just people that
No.
want to shop,
Yeah.
understanding that the products are ethical, they're genuine, they're non-GMO. If they say they're organic, they're definitely organic. If they say they're this, they're definitely this. So I love it because these guys aren't saying
Mm.
go out and recruit, recruit, recruit. They're saying, hey, just find a whole lot of people that want to shop. At least you're doing these shoppers a major favor with the product they're getting is genuine.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is a big difference. We don't own any products. So people can go shopping, and not everybody wants shakes, not everybody wants these tablets, not everybody wants this. So by not building a business just around those select items,
Yeah.
we just create a wide shopping experience and market where everybody can go, and everyone's dietary requirements will be looked after. We don't preach. If they're celiac, they'll be able to go on there and do a search for
Mm.
just celiac appropriate. If they're paleo, that's their choice. They want to go on there and they want to filter it by paleo.
Yeah.
And the dairy free. So all dietary requirements or kind of dietary choices will be taken care of on InnerOrigin's platform.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I'll tell you what I got from this slide very, very quickly, because time is burning quickly. At the moment,
Yeah.
online food sales is $2 billion, but in actual fact, the real figure, as in say online at the moment $2 billion, but groceries in
Yeah.
Australia 119 billion. There's a massive gap there, and guess what? It's going to be plugged by convenience, and guess who's going to plug it?
Mm,
IO.
online convenience
Exactly
by
right.
IO.
So
Absolutely.
all I take away from this side for those that are watching is that the founder and CEO, also the founder and COO, have incredible experience in not only the network marketing worlds but also in the retail
Mm.
Aldi worlds, the retail shopping world. Now, Mate, I'll flick.
Just on that
Go
point,
for it.
if you just go back to that one
Yep.
with David Nomchang, I think it's really important for network marketers to maybe hear this. I mean, he has launched 4 companies into Australasia, and you can see them there. But David Nomchang actually got headhunted by the Direct Selling Association, the DSA, because of his knowledge of compensation plans. He's put this compensation plan together ahead of the Federal Trade Commission. And in America, I don't know if people are aware, but, Herbalife and a couple of others have been fined some big money, based on the way that they're doing business. And it's been found that the industry of network marketing is $180 billion annually. And only 3% of that is true retail customers. The 97% is wholesale customers. Yeah. So the FTC have said, real business now needs to be going forwards. And they're having to change their compensation plans, these VIP memberships and things like that, people buying into the money game on an auto ship to fund these big businesses is going to change. And that's what InnerOrigin have done. They've got ahead of the drag curve, basically because of this man and his knowledge within that DSA and the compensation plan. It's all retail. So they can change the policy, and at the minute, each distributor is going to have to prove that 80% of their income is coming from retail customers. Well, in InnerOrigin, we have started from the inception at 100% because all advocates and all customers pay retail price. So we're all 100% ahead of the legal and the regulative changes.
So basically,
the FTC are going to be enforcing. So you're future-proofing yourself.
Well, you are, and
building a business,
and that's why we called it. That's why we called it MLM 2.0. I'm not a massive fan of the term MLM. What I am a massive fan of is an affiliate marketing model. And that's effectively what we are. We're affiliates. We're basically saying, hey, there's a great online supermarket here that guarantees the products are phenomenal, and guess what? It's the Battler's supermarket. Being a farmer, I can tell you how important that is. Global expansion is imminent, so I don't need to. I don't need to hone in on that. What I do want to hone in on, and this is where I really started to understand the power of what IO is all about. Is there are multiple income streams, and I don't. I mean, we could spend 20 minutes on each of these, which I don't want to do. But my point is that nowhere has my boss, even as a CEO of a company, and I'm the boss, at no point in time have I ever said to any of my staff, you know what, guys, we're going to allow for you to develop 7 income streams if you would like. And this is, not to draw a comparison, but I love the fact that, if we run through this real quick, point number 1, clearly every person that is shopping as part of your business that you've referred, whether they want to be a business builder or not, the fact is you get customer reward points. You qualify point 2 for lifetime commissions. If you do want to start a business quickly, there are fast start bonuses, and myself having gone to the 1-star leadership rank level in my first month have qualified for my fast start bonuses, which is fantastic. Then the network leveraged commissions, basically that is where you have the ability to earn a significant amount of money over your entire business. So if you introduce someone who introduces someone, and funny thing is, these people might be shoppers who introduce shoppers, just like Uber introduced Uber. That's point 4. Your potential is enormous. Further to that, your generational leadership bonuses. As I'm level 1 in leadership, there's 10 levels above me, which is fantastic. I want to go and get all of them. As I move through point number 5, I then qualify for number 6, which this blew me away. So at a certain rank level, which again, we won't get into massive detail today, but it's called a 5-star. At the 5-star level, I qualify for a share of the global turnover of the company paid in a commission. So we're in Australia right now, and it hasn't even officially launched yet. But IO, as per the previous slide, is going to go to multiple countries. And this is the first business. This is the first business I've ever been involved in where they've said, Lockie, if you work diligently in Australia and you're very, very smart about how you do it, and the purpose of this video, Phil, you're mentoring me. I'm more than happy to mentor anybody that is not part of IO that wants to be part of IO. But once you get to that 5-star level, you qualify for a percentage share of the global turnover of the company. So the fact is that we expand to America, we go to Germany, we go to Japan, we go here, we go to China, we do all this kind of stuff. At a 5-star and above, I get a share of that, even if I don't know anyone in America, I don't know anyone in China, I don't know anyone in Canada, and I can see you nodding. This, can you imagine that? BHP saying, hey, if you buy some of our shares and you buy lots of them, we will progressively pay you more and more and more dividends. I don't see BHP doing that anytime soon. Neither Coles or Woolworths or any of them.
No. And it incentivizes everybody. You know, the bigger this company goes globally, you know, those leaders that have stepped up, and that is what we are looking for at the moment. Is you know, those positions, you know, in such a early stage business. You know, that opportunity is there for people that may have that experience, may have that desire and that drive to actually say, you know what, I want to be the reason why this company becomes a $5 billion company in 5 years. You know, and I want to share in that.
Well,
and it's like,
there's a great question.
It's phenomenal.
Who wants to share in a $5 billion company? Like, yes, please. Can I put both my hands up on that one?